Hi, I'm Christina Applegate.
And I'm Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
And this is Messy. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Messy. It's Christina.
And Jamie.
And I always feel like I'm more excited about the next person than the next, but I think today is probably up there with favorite of excitement. So this person that we have today, I don't even know what to say. This is he's so fucking impressive on all levels of life, but I had the brilliant opportunity of being able to work with him on a movie called Anchorman back in the day. And he's the bones, the spine, and the everything behind everything that he does. Please welcome our beautiful guest, Mr. Judd Apatow.
Hello.
Hi, Judd.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you, man.
So happy to have you. Judd, I have to say, I always love when I have a fellow Long Islander. I grew up in Jericho.
Jericho is basically the same city as
That's right.
Syosset, where I grew up. It's sister cities, and I only have
shared
one.
Supermarkets.
We shared. I had one of my first dates with a woman from Jericho. This is a crazy story that basically says everything about me. I don't even know how we met these women, but me and my friend went on a double date with two very nice young ladies from Jericho. I assume this would be 11th grade. We go to a Chinese restaurant.
Okay.
I have a plate full of food. I attempt to cut the chicken by just pushing down on it with a fork.
Right.
I push too hard on the front of the plate, catapulting all of the food into my lap.
Oh,
now my legs are covered with the food. I take the plate, put it underneath both of my legs, open my legs, brush it back on the plates. And it was so mortifying that no one laughed at any part of this process. And then it was time to drop the two women off. And me and my friend, we get there. I'm in the back seat. I turn to say goodbye to this poor woman. And like a shot in a Coen Brothers movie, when I turn, I see she has already exited the car and is about 80 feet in front of the car already.
Oh, my God.
What a snob.
That's my Jericho memory.
What are the two names of the cities?
Syosset and Jericho.
Okay,
you know
those sound fake. You know it sounds like you guys are making those up.
It's very, very Indian. There's a lot of Indian. We were the Syosset Braves, although I don't think we were allowed to be the Braves. I mean, they may be the Braves now, but it may have changed the logo. They're still
the Braves because my nieces and nephew go to Syosset, so they're still the Braves. Yeah, and we were the Jayhawks.
The Jayhawks. So you didn't have issues with what your mascot looked like.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Nope. Well, always lovely to talk to a fellow Long Islander.
As long as I'm talking to someone who went to the Walt Whitman Mall, everything is fine.
Or Roosevelt Field, if my mom would drive me that far.
Yeah, it was a mall life. There's a.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of non-existent. We went to the mall in Hicksville or Walt Whitman Mall every weekend, our entire childhood. We would just wander around in Spencer's Gifts, looking at posters and fart spray.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Sadie, my Sadie. You have a tendency to put Sadies in your movies, by the way. I just noticed.
Love that name.
Love the name too, because that's mine. You did meet her when she was teeny tiny.
Yes,
Judd, but
I did in Atlanta.
She is such a grown.
How old?
14, dude.
Wow, you are in it. You are in it right now. It is happening.
In it. She's got purple hair. She looks like she's part of the Runaways. She looks like she's total punk emo kid, Billie Eilish. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Cusses at me. It's not the little cherubic lady that you met.
It's a whole different era of 14.
Dude, I know you've been through it, and you've got some spicy kids.
My kids are 27 and 22.
No, they're not. Stop lying to me.
So they like us again. They like us again. They've cycled through back to liking us.
No way, they're not.
Yes.
Sorry. I watched This Is 40 again last night just because I had 2 girls in my bed. I know that sounds really weird. 2 teenage girls also sounds really weird. Sadie and her friend, they love to watch movies with me. So we watched that last night. And
how did it play? How did it play with the young people?
You know what? They love it. I mean, they love everything that you have done. It's like when I told them we were doing this today, I was like, basically all the things you love, Judd is the person behind them. So just know that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of talk of technology in that movie about like kids. And I mean, we shot that in 2011. And so there's a lot of talk about people being distracted and kids not playing outdoors and all of that. And it's funny how much worse it's gotten, but it still is applicable, trying to get your kids to hang out.
Yeah. And it's such a portend to what we deal with. I also noticed like how like really fucking dark it is, Judd. Like
the movie.
Yes. Like,
yeah, it goes there. It
goes really deep with emotions. And I want to know that, like, I know you write from your heart and, and stuff like that. So like we have so much to talk to you about, but like, this is new. So I'm wondering like, because it's your wife too, and it's about marriage and kids and it's your kids, all the things. I was like, I have so many questions about this, but.
Well, it's funny because, when you get to this age and you've made a lot of things and some of them are a long time ago, like a really long time ago, that you can see what connected over the long haul, because there are things you work on at the moment you feel like, oh, that didn't do that well. And then 10 years later, you're thinking, oh, this is the one everyone wants to talk about. And This Is 40 is one of those where like it did all right when it came out. But I have to say 90% of people that want to talk about anything want to talk about This Is 40 more than anything. I mean, it is really weird. People don't mention Knocked Up or 40-Year-Old Virgin. They always want to talk about This Is 40. One, it's because it's on Netflix and it never seems to leave, like streaming. It's very like present. But I do think because it goes deep and it goes very deep emotionally and it gets darker than you expect. And it talks about things that maybe some people don't say out loud.
Yeah.
That people feel seen, like, oh, you're thinking about this too, because it really is about turning 40 and assessing your life and how you think you're doing and what you're struggling with and trying to get along. And I think when people turn 40, they watch it and they're like, oh, Jesus. Hopefully it brings some comfort, I guess.
No, it does. I'm in like early-ish in my 40s and I feel very much represented, and you captured the moment beautifully of the complexity of it, of the sort of taking a reckoning of like what has happened to you, what you want to take with you, what you want to leave behind, and sort of the reality of that moment. So I understand why it resonates the way it does.
I mean, a lot of it is about being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
When I would look back about writing it, I thought it's too much. It's just all too much, right? It's just trying to get along, trying to not screw up your kids, trying to make a living, and just all your traumas and emotions that you bring into everything. That there definitely was a period where I felt tired, just like, there's so many things to try not to screw up.
Yeah.
And so, when we do those things, it's always a combination of what we're going through, what our friends are going through, and stuff we're completely making up, in a soup. And then an imagining of Leslie and Paul Rudd's relationship too, because when they get together, you feel like, oh, if they really were a couple, they would communicate differently than Leslie and I communicate. Like the things that would bug each other about each other. And, so this whole other universe starts coming together. The thing that was very accurate was just my kids, because I could just put a camera on the two of them, say basically nothing, and within 30 seconds they would start fighting. And they had some inherent understanding of what was funny about their fights. So it was weird because in the movie, they're genuinely angry at each other. When they go at it, those feelings are real. Iris wants to hang out with Maud. Maud doesn't want to hang out with her because she's little, and they're just irritating each other. But yet they both understood how to hit a weird comic rhythm while being crazy truthful about this struggle. I mean, they get along great. now, but because it was a 5-year age difference,
Mhm.
that's a lot for kids.
Yeah.
They were so great in Knocked Up too. But but what was funny last night when we were watching, because I'm with a 17-year-old girl and a 14-year-old girl, when Maud starts cussing at you guys and screaming, like Jenny is Sadie's friend. She and I were just cracking up. We're like, oh, looks a bit familiar over there.
Yeah.
Like, all too familiar.
And the pride in saying it, like, fuck, yeah. And like, yeah, I said it.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh my God,
Thank
those
you.
baby kids. You got to tell your whole family I send my love, because I haven't seen
shall.
Leslie for a
It's
minute.
amazing how comfortable they are, like being, like living so authentically in front of the camera. I feel like people work really hard for a really long time to learn how to do that, and they just have it innately.
Well, when we did the first one with them, when we did Knocked Up, it was very simple. I just would not feed them and then strap them into a chair and roll 3 cameras. And then right at action, I would drop some bacon and eggs in front of them. And they would be so obsessed with eating because they were so hungry that they would just listen to the conversation. And it looked so real because they were starving and they'd been mainly eating. And then every once in a while I would just yell, say, who are you? And then they would just eat and go, who are you? And you could like slowly pull them into the scene.
Yeah.
They were so natural and so fantastic, Judd. It's just like,
Truly.
it's unlike anything. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, then just later they just got comfortable because they had been doing it since they were so little that the space of a set wasn't intimidating the way it would be to most people because they had just been on it a bunch. But it was always still weird. Like, why are you so comfortable? I mean, they did enjoy it. I think later in life it became more of an imposing place than when they were in those years. And we made the set pretty fun, and there were fun people around, like Paul Appel, the great writer, was like our on-set punch-up writer. So they had a lot of like lovely people making the set a fun place.
Yeah.
Support for Messy comes from Mud Water. Their OG blend is a mix of cacao, chai, turmeric, and adaptogenic mushrooms to help you feel focused without the crash. And the best part? It's amazing over ice. Seriously, just mix it with cold water or milk, shake it up, pour it over ice, and boom, you've got yourself a refreshing feel-good boost that actually helps you stay balanced. Guys, every single ingredient in Mud Water, and I have to say this again, and I always say this, it's not WATER, it's WTR. Mud Water. That's why I say it like that. Their products are 100% USDA certified, organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher. So check it out. I got one of them diseases of the nervous system. So caffeine can really blank me up. This stuff is so good because you don't get the jitters, you don't get the crash, and you're putting in your body stuff that is actually healing. I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to say healing. So I love matcha. And sometimes when I go to cafes, because I go to lots of cafes, I don't actually, but I love matcha. But it can be a lot. Matcha's got a lot of, zing, zang, boom. But their matcha starter kit is a must try. It's the perfect way to step into clean energy with matcha's calming focus boost. One sip, guys, and you'll feel like you're dancing barefoot in the grass. So, are you ready to make the switch to cleaner energy? Head to mudwater.com and grab your starter kit today. Right now, our listeners get an exclusive deal. So listen to this. It's up to 43% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother. I love a frother when you use code MESSY. That's right, up to 43% off with code MESSY at mudwtr.com. After your purchase, they'll ask how you found them. Please show your support and let them know we sent you. Keep your energy natural and refreshing all year long with Mud Water, because life's too short for anything less than clean, delicious energy. I just realized I've never been directed by you. And I mean, of course, because we did the Anchormans, but like now I'm like super jealous.
Yes,
got
this
to
is
do
something that that I can't say that it's like that much different than Adam McKay directing you, other than he is just so much funnier than me. It's crazy. Like when I would sit at Anchorman and watch McKay feed you guys ideas, lines or just ideas for you guys to riff on. His brain is just in another universe. He could throw out like 20 perfectly crafted punchlines off the top of his head with the camera rolling in a way like I need a team of people around me feeding me concepts and ideas, and I have pieces of paper and I'm writing and they're writing. Like McKay is a one-man genius of that. That's really, don't you think it's like remarkable what he would do on that set?
It's otherworldly. It's bizarro that shit comes out of his head that quickly, like pirate hooker or like just stuff that's like bizarre that is so beautiful, and it just is like him just laying there, leaning back, just really casually just throwing out things that you're like, what part of the synapses are like what's going on in there? But
and colorful language.
It's just his brain works differently than
my pitches are like, say fuck off. I don't get into pirate hooker. I'm never funny enough or smart enough. I always say most people are stoned in my movies because I'm too dumb to write even a sober person.
That's not even true at all. Because I remember us sitting around the monitors and, us fleshing out ideas. And you're brilliant. I mean, obviously you're brilliant. You kind of are the captain of the whole ship at this point, to me, of what comedy and drama and everything else is. In watching the Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling yesterday, which I hadn't seen yet.
Oh, wow.
I know.
You
can't believe
through it yesterday.
Oh, I went through you, Judd.
That's a big one.
But to see how long you have been doing this with such excellence, like I didn't know your whole story. So, like, what is like? Did you fucking know you were going to be Judd Apatow? Like, seriously, like, at 17, when you're getting out and you start writing for Roseanne Barr and all these people, like, what the heck, man? What was that?
Well, it's funny because I'm just finishing up a book that's coming out in the fall called Comedy Nerd, it's like a memoir, but it's mainly pictures, but it has essays because I'm a hoarder. So I kept everything from everything. So I thought about all this over the last 2 years while I'm doing it. But, as a kid, I loved comedy and, for healthy and unhealthy reasons. It was the era of 1970s variety. I loved all that. It was the beginning of the comedy club scene, Seinfeld and Leno and people like that, and SNL, Monty Python. So I was obsessed and bad at sports, and so that became my thing. And it wasn't anyone else's thing. Like no one in school liked comedy but me, and so I also felt like, oh, at least I've got my own interest. And when I went to LA, I had just started doing stand-up when I was 17. I went to USC to film school, but I wasn't into it because I wanted to be a stand-up. I just didn't know what to major in at school. It was as close as I could get to stand-up was to take screenwriting. And I think my dream was just to get in it anywhere. Like, can I just be a part of it somewhere? And I was doing stand-up, and the people that were in our world at that time, late 80s, it was David Spade and Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler, and Rob Schneider lived across the street from us, and we were in the clubs, and the stars of the club, it was Ellen and Seinfeld, and Robin Williams would come in, and Leno and people like that. And you just wanted to make Bud Friedman laugh. Like your whole life was, if I can get this one guy to laugh, he'll give me good spots at this club. And maybe one day someone from The Tonight Show or who does a sitcom will give me a job. And so you had to be in good graces with the club to hope that you would get a big break. And then everyone started getting those breaks. I wasn't getting those breaks, but I would help them. So I would write jokes for people, or they needed help with a sketch or something. And so then I just started drifting towards the writing and directing because I was just getting way more work and getting paid for it. And that all culminated with writing Roseanne's act, with Roseanne for, that was like during like the national anthem era of Roseanne. And she gave me a bunch of big
that's a
breaks.
rough ride there, Judd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was writing for Tom. And then that all led to meeting Shandling, who asked me to write the Grammys with him. And that was probably my biggest break, because after I did the Ben Stiller show and that was canceled, I got a job writing for the Larry Sanders Show. And that's really where I learned how to write story from Gary. And also Gary was, I don't know if he would say he was a Buddhist, but interested in all of that. And so that was also my education in spirituality came from Gary. So I was, learning about deep storytelling and then about spirituality, because my parents weren't religious at all. They didn't even mention religion existed. They didn't even say it was bullshit. They said nothing. So it was just a hole in my soul. And I think comedy was the thing I filled it with. Like, I don't have any point of view about life. I don't get anything. So at first it was comedy, and then Gary expanded it through Buddhist ideas. And that's how he told stories, because he thought all the stories were about ego and about trying to, figure out who you were. That's what his acting classes were about. That's what his writing was about. It was all about self-discovery. So when we would work together on Anchorman, the thing that I'm trying to do as the producer, just giving notes, is let's take this seriously. Below all these jokes, what is this really about? And trying to have those conversations and just push, I know this is silly, but who are these people? What happened to them? Even if they're broad,
No, that's not silly. That's not silly at all. And that's where I come from. So me stepping into a group of dudes who are like the improv masters of all time, basically, in life, right?
Yeah.
And I'm coming from like a more like a serious mode and I learned how to like do improv on that movie. I had no clue how to do it, what it meant. It's
terrifying. That sounds so terrifying.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
And when you have someone like McKay or you guys going, Christina, just say whatever you want. And I'm like, I want to say what's written on the page, please, because that's what I was hired to do. But it was funny because in watching the thing and seeing Gary with the Roy London, I took acting classes with the person he passed everything over to, Cameron. And Cameron got me ready for my auditions for.
Oh, that's kind of incredible. And Cameron will be around a bit, with Gary after we lost Roy, and Roy directed the show. I have some amazing documents. They're in the Gary Shandling book. It's Gary Shandling's book, which were these handouts he would give the students with all his theories. I'll have to just send some of them. I literally put it in the book because they're so fascinating. But yeah, I can't imagine having to step in the middle of those four guys, and you're so incredible in those scenes, especially at the desk when you're insulting each other and they're so loose and improvised, but yet you're both in this perfect comic rhythm together. And the funny story of that movie, which most people don't realize, is there was a whole other story in it about a domestic terrorist group and the relationship between Ron and Alicia was
Veronica, originally Alicia.
Oh, Jesus.
That's okay. I love
you.
It was Alicia, but I had just done a movie with James Gandolfini where I played an Alicia, and I was like, I can't be Alicia. But then I was like, let's have her be obsessed with Veronica Lake. That's hence why we started doing the hair. Anyway, it was a whole thing.
Hysterical. By the way, can I tell you that's how my brain works now? Is like,
it's okay.
It will mention like 2 agents back. Like all the time, right? Like the last, but anyway, so, but that whole storyline, we were testing the movie and we realized, people only care about Veronica and Ron. And you don't need any of it. And so we just excised this story. They did those revisions where you fell in the bear pit.
Almost died.
And we can tell that story. And we went, see, they care so much, even though this is a silly world, they really care about them and they feel their affection for each other. And it's enough to power this whole movie. And that's why the movie is so beloved, because it is this really demented love story of a man who realizes he's not as smart as the woman he loves. And he has so much shame about realizing he's not as good as he thinks, as he thought he was at his job, and having to overcome that and not be furious at the woman he loves for, outclassing him.
And for people that don't know, Wake Up Ron Burgundy is something you can get.
Yeah, you could buy the other version of the movie.
It's actually quite hilarious because people are like, "Oh, it's just like extras." I'm like, "No, it's a full feature film."
Yeah. McKay took everything that was cut out of the movie and put it together and created a completely different movie that's like an hour and like 15 or 20 minutes. And they put it out on Blu-ray. You probably can still find it or find it on eBay. And it's hysterical.
You can get it on Apple TV, Judd.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like there. I mean, we ain't getting paid for it. We know that. You can like just go into your Apple TV or whatever and be like, Wake Up Ron Burgundy, and there it is.
Oh my God. And there's a few scenes in it that are as funny or funnier than anything in the real movie. There's a funny sequence where they're in the woods and they instantly get scared and think that they're stuck and abandoned, and they get hungry very quickly, and then very quickly decide they're going to eat one of them. They're going to, like, whoever's not doing well, they're going to turn to cannibals. It took like 8 minutes for them to turn into cannibals. But
my favorite was Maya and Amy in the bank.
Oh, and
she's like, "I'm a man, ma'am."
Yeah.
And that whole conversation, because Amy keeps calling her sir.
Yeah.
And I had never seen Amy Poehler before. This is like, she had maybe just joined SNL. Like, literally, like she was a featured player. And there's Maya. And this improv between the two of them is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. And I said to McKay, I'm like, who's this Amy chick? Like, she's going to be an enormous star. I was obsessed with her.
Well, she had been Andy Richter's sister on a Conan O'Brien show, and she would come out and and scream at Conan. She'd be in love with Conan and then feel rejected and scream at Conan. And she was so hysterical. It's all on YouTube. If you look it up, it is so funny. And then Chuck D from Public Enemy was also in those sections, and Kevin Corrigan. But we should tell the story of the bear. Should we? So,
I think is it statute of limitations that I'm past them suing me at this point?
Well,
because I told it on Letterman, and I got in real big trouble.
Really, with who though? Who would be in trouble? Who would you be in trouble with?
The trainers.
Oh, the trainers.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell it, and I'll take the hit, because So basically, and this, by the way, I learned an enormous lesson from this. First of all, I hate stunts. So if you see most things I've done, it's just two people talking in a restaurant.
Right.
Because I'm terrified of any kind of stunt. When we did the Cable Guy, there was a moment where...
Oh my God, you did the Cable Guy too. Oh my God.
Everything.
Does anyone really understand who we're talking to right now? We're talking to like fucking royalty. So go ahead, sorry.
So Jim, it's supposed to be that Jim's character like jumps off a radio tower into a satellite dish at the end of the movie. So we have a stuntman who's going to literally jump off like 100-foot thing into an airbag. There's a helicopter that's supposed to be in the movie circling it. And then we have a helicopter with a camera in it that's supposed to be shooting the helicopter. And it's windy, and suddenly it's a little scary. I'm terrified because I thought, if this guy misses the bag, this is the worst day of my life. It's all for some stupid joke.
The worst day of his life, John.
Like, why is this man risking his life for this dumb joke? And it was before CGI, when you could do this on a green screen. Like, you would never have a guy leap off a 100-foot thing. But back then, you'd go, yeah, Phil's going to leap. And
Phil.
So that night, I said to myself, I'm never doing stunts ever again. Then we're doing Anchorman, and it's supposed to be that you are in the bear enclosure. And we've been told that these bears have worked a lot and they're very safe. And how they train them is they have this little wire that's electrified. And so when they're where they live, they won't ever cross into this wire because they know it's been electrified. But on set, they don't bring the electric wire, they bring string because they think it's the
Wait,
wire.
I thought it was fucking wire. You're telling me now it was just string?
Your story just got worse.
I'm suing everyone.
And so
I'm suing them.
So right before we're like, we're gonna like shoot that day, I don't remember who said it, but we were all talking and we were saying, why do we need Christina in the pit with the actual bears? Can we just shoot Christina, then shoot the bears and just composite the shot? And they're like, nah, the lighting won't match, blah, 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 blah. And then we're like, we're morons. We haven't made a lot of movies. We don't know how to handle these things. And we're like, okay. And so now you're in the middle of the pit. There's 3 bears around you. They're 10 feet tall bears.
Black bears, guys.
That we've been told are safe. And we're about to roll. And suddenly one bear just starts scratching the ground like, I'm not happy right now. And then another bear on the other side starts doing the same thing. And they both look like they're like going to charge you or each other. Like it's like bubbling up. And then suddenly the one bear like takes a step to do whatever it's going to do. And the trainer stepped in and it instantly jumped back. Oh, and it was like the scariest thing just to witness. And you were in the center of it and you were devastated.
He
afterwards.
He didn't step. He went to charge.
Yes.
And the trainer picked me up over his shoulder and ran me out of the enclosure because he was afraid the bear was going to kill me. It was like that kind of thing. So I'm not trying to dramatize this, but that's, and I was shaking so much.
I blacked out most of it.
I blacked out like afterwards.
I've softened the story by using the word step.
It was not a step.
And so basically we almost murdered Christina.
But you know what? The best part about it is, as a consolation prize, you guys got me a flip phone with video on it.
With the video of it on it.
No, with video. No, it was the first time there was a phone with video. Like you could
that was your reward.
That was my reward. But it was kind of great. I still have it. I just need to find a plug because on it is all of you making videos apologizing about the bear attack.
Oh my gosh. See, I blacked out so much of this. I have a terrible memory anyway. But I do remember you watching it on the monitor, crying.
Mm-hmm.
We're all traumatized. But then I think the most shocking moment of the day that was truly like something I'd never seen before was you look at it and then we're ready to just shut down. And you're like, now let's go finish the scene. And you finished the scene. Like you literally just like cried your eyes out, shook it off. And then we shot you without the bears there. Then we shot the bears without you there. They composited it and it totally worked.
Yeah.
There was never a reason for it. I would like to formally apologize for just being a young moron. And I apologize for all the morons who surrounded you. And I hope it doesn't haunt your dreams.
We were misled, Judd. We were misled.
We were misled.
So it wasn't you guys. But what's funny is I think that day was L-Bomb's first day working as Will's assistant, by the way.
Oh my God. And you know what?
Fucking believe that?
You know what's the weirdest
now
part
she's a
of
mogul,
this story?
By the way, guys. What?
Here's the weirdest part of this story. So a few years later, Will does another movie, a basketball movie, and called Semi-Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And in it, there's a bear.
No.
And the bear does its scene, and it's fine. I forgot who the bear, maybe it's like a halftime show thing, or I don't. But they have a bear. A year or two later, that bear killed its trainer.
No. No. I'm not laughing at the death of the person.
It's just that life is crazy and we're all morons.
Shit.
Like we all think like you just can't imagine things go wrong to that extent.
Yeah.
This is why all my movies take place in restaurants.
Yeah.
And
Don't
in
work with
living
bears,
rooms.
guys. Don't work with bears.
Don't work with bears. And
No.
you know what's the other weird part is?
Or honey badgers.
We had to fight so hard to be allowed to shoot the bears because, we were doing this reshoot where Veronica falls in the bear enclosure and Ron has to save her. And there was two things that happened. One was that Will and Adam's script had Jack Black killing
The dog.
Baxter, Ron Burgundy's dog. He kicks it off a bridge. And we all thought it was okay because it was clearly a stuffed animal. And Mike DeLuca, who was the head of Warner Brothers now and was the head of DreamWorks then, he said to us, if you kill that dog, the audience will hate this movie. And we laughed. We're like, it's a stuffed animal, Mike. You don't get the comedy. And then we tested the movie and people hated us for killing the dog. And then McKay and Will wrote a reshoot where at the end of the movie, Baxter returns and fights off the bear and the place explodes into like applause. And the testing goes through the roof. That was the first thing. But when we had to convince the studio to let us do Will and Adam's revisions with the bears, we had to have a meeting with the head of DreamWorks, like the other head of DreamWorks, not Mike, who didn't understand the concept of the joke. Like, I don't get the bears. She falls in with the bears. And then McKay and I had to go in and do a 45-minute meeting explaining why bears are funny and bears' role in the history of comedy. And at the end, we didn't convince him. He just ran out of gas at fighting us and allowed Adam to do it.
That's one way.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. Support for Messy comes from Magic Spoon. Okay, do you guys know what Magic Spoon is? I'm going to tell you a little backstory for me. I raised my kid on no sugar, no cereals, from the aisle that have a character on them. Not that there's anything wrong with that. She's vegan, she was sugar-free, all those things that you do as a first-time parent. And I saw Magic Spoon on Shark Tank, and I was like, what is this? And this was a gajillion years ago. So I bought it. She was like, but it's not what all my friends have. And I was like, no, you will be eating this. And it's delicious, okay? To the point where it's what I eat. And it's reinvented for your childhood nostalgia. So every serving of Magic Spoon is high-protein cereal, has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs. They come in nostalgic flavors like fruity, cocoa, and frosted. They also have these high-protein treats that are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. They come in mouth-watering flavors like marshmallow, chocolate peanut butter, and dark chocolate. And it's delicious, and you know that you're doing something good for your body. All of them are great on the go, pre or post-workout, or as a midnight snack if you're up that late. So get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/messy, or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/messy for $5 off. You will not be disappointed. I had it last night at, I'm not kidding, midnight. I had a bowl of the peanut butter one, and it was delightful.
Support for Messy comes from Beekeepers Naturals. I've recently cleaned up my medicine cabinet. I'm trying to replace all of those toxin-filled conventional products with more natural options. And I've found a few that I've put into my daily routine. And my favorites are from Beekeepers Naturals. Beekeepers Naturals' mission is to reinvent the medicine cabinet. They're merging modern science with natural medicine to create clean, non-toxic products that actually work. And their hero ingredient is propolis. It is the natural medicine of the beehive, and it delivers antioxidants, vitamin C, iron, B vitamins, and uniquely beneficial compounds that support immune health. Propolis is just this powerful combination of plant and tree resin, and that has enzymes made by the bees. It's what the bees use to protect the hive. And for us, it fights germs. It supports our immune system. It is truly a one-stop shop. So I use their Propolis Immune Support Throat Spray daily. And then when I'm needing like an extra boost for my immune system, I use their Propolis Plus Vitamin C Liposomal. These are must-haves, like I said, in my medicine cabinet. And I live in Austin. The allergies are crazy here. So their nasal spray is a must-have, and they recently launched a kid-friendly version of their nasal spray. I've got tough kids with this type of stuff, and let me tell you, they don't put up a fight at all. Just in time for pollen season. The mist is super soft, it's gentle, and like I said, my kids actually use it. Don't wait till you're under the weather or facing seasonal allergies to use these incredible products. You can use them proactively to up your defense, support your immunity through spring, through pollen season, and beyond. And today, Beekeepers Naturals is offering you an exclusive offer. So go to beekeepersnaturals.com/messy or enter code MESSY to get 20% off your order. That's BeekeepersNaturals.com/messy or enter code MESSY. Beekeepers Naturals products are also available at Target, Whole Foods, Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens. Well, other than endangering people's lives, you talked about, learning how to have deeper storytelling through comedy, but which is why your movies are so beloved. And I think what, brings so many people back to watching them over and over again, like me. But one of the other things I love about your films is it looks like everybody's having a fucking blast. Like it to me, it comes through the screen that everybody's having so much fun. Is that intentional on your part, or does that just happen with the people that you bring together?
I think you have to set an environment, create an environment where people feel supported and loose.
Yeah.
I always think it's as simple as letting people know we have enough time. I think most of the tightness of the set is when the actors don't know how many takes they're going to get. And you're just afraid that you're in some Clint Eastwood situation where he's going to say, "Moving on," after one take or two takes, especially when you're doing comedy, because comedy is inherently an experiment and a risk. And so how we do it is we like to try a bunch of things. We're not just polishing one thought. We're saying, oh, we could do this here or that there, or say this or say that, or physically do this or that. And so the main thing I do is to just tell everyone, I'm not moving on until you're happy. So,
wow.
And I just tell people, like, we have time. We're not in a rush. Let's find it. And a lot of it is discovered in the moment on the set. Sometimes the script works great. Sometimes we're like, wow, that scene doesn't work at all. And we're just starting over kind of from scratch sometimes on the set. I mean, some of the best scenes we have were completely made up in 5 minutes, because the scene that we had in the script for the last year, when performed on the set, clearly does not work at all. Because once you have the real actors, everything's different, and you're in the space. So I want everyone to be having a good time. I'm usually not having a good time, but I'm pretending to. I'm so stressed, I'm just losing my mind. But I realize the actors need it to appear like I'm having fun. And maybe half the time I can convince them I'm also having fun. But usually they look at me and are like, what is wrong with him? Because I look stressed out. But when it's funny because, they're going to put The 40-Year-Old Virgin and Trainwreck back in theaters in August for like a week. In 800 theaters, which is pretty wild for the 20th anniversary and the 10th anniversary.
I forgot you did Trainwreck too. Jesus, guys, are you listening to this?
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite movies. Okay, I can't.
But I had to watch The 40-Year-Old Virgin again because we had to remaster the sound and the picture and make it look good for the theaters. And the thing that I noticed, one, was how much fun everyone was having. Like, people did look like they were having a blast.
Yeah.
But the thing that made me laugh was everyone was performing like their lives depended on it. For a lot of people, it was a big break. I don't know if everyone really thought of it that way, but it has the energy of a lot of people really trying to kick ass. Like, every moment, Rudd is going so hard, and Seth is going so hard, and Steve, he's the lead finally, and everyone is really focused and really smart, but there's a look in their eyes like, this is my moment, and I better deliver, and like a level of passion. And that's the thing that like threw me rewatching it. Like, look at these crazy people trying so hard to pull off this moment. And they all are everywhere. Jane Lynch, Kevin Hart has this crazy cameo, Romney Malco, like they're all going for it and scoring. And I was just impressed that it just, in a weird way, for all the performers, the work ethic, the focus to be so compressed in their comedy. They're getting so many big jokes out in such a short amount of time. And I don't know if everyone's, I don't know if like as you get older, you can keep up that level of madness. Like when you're young, you're insane how hard you're trying to pull it off.
I was going to say, when I was listening to you, well, first of all, Paul and Julie lived in my house while they were filming that because I was in New York. So 2005, right?
Yeah.
And they told me that they fucked everywhere in my entire house, but that's okay.
That's always good to know.
That's fine. Thank you. Thanks, guys. They were kidding or not. But I was going to say, like, now I have to watch it back, but also, like I was saying, like for myself, I'm always like less takes for me because I'm so insecure that I feel like it's never going to get better than what I just gave you. Like, I think I gave you my best on take 1 and take 2, but if you try to like mold me right now, I think I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
So I don't know that thought of like, it's not going to get any better than this.
Well, in a way, when we did Anchorman, I always felt like you were the only one who really knew how to act.
Yeah.
like you really knew what you were doing, and your reality level. I mean, the thing you were doing, I think, was really difficult, which is you're scoring in the same way everyone is scoring, but you have to keep the movie from like just flying off into the wind like a balloon. You have to look at them as if they're real. They're playing such buffoons, but you're creating the reality level of the movie, but you're also not sacrificing that you're also scoring in a big way and in a different way than what they're doing. And that's really what made the movie work. And I think the hardest thing to really appear like it is legitimate to fall in love with Ron Burgundy.
Yes. I had journals that I wrote as Veronica. So I would write like, September 25th, this today, first day of work. And I would write these journals about like her voice to myself. So like where she held her stress, like that's why she walked the way she did, or she talked the way she did with her mid-Atlantic, very bizarre accent, like all the things like, so for me, I had to stay there because I was so afraid of the looseness of it.
Yeah.
It's like, if I didn't have that core, I wouldn't be able to like be loose, and I couldn't. Yeah. When McKay would say that to me, dude, seriously, I was terrible at improv. Absolutely terrible. I'm pretty damn good now, but absolutely terrible.
Well, I have to say that is not what anyone thought
that's
ever while we were
don't
doing
need to talk about me.
while we
what
were
about
doing
me?
the movie. But everyone just thought that you were crushing it, and obviously you were. But I know how hard that is because my wife Leslie, like one of the things she's good at is like this, like creating these realities of love. So she's in George of the Jungle, and she's creating this reality where she is in love with George. Even though it's this silly jungle man,
jungle man.
they really, I mean, she always says, "I was in love with Brendan when we shot it," but that's such an incredible trick, like making magic work or making these relationships work. Because it's the one thing I really dislike in movies is when I don't buy the core connection. It's one of the reasons why I put Maude and Iris in the movies is I like when the family feels like a family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, wait, we can get 3/4 of a real family. So it doesn't feel like a construction.
Yeah. There's one
Yes.
scene in This Is 40 when Leslie's kissing Iris on the head I started bawling my eyes out, Judd. I'm like, you know,
No.
we had just watched the Melissa McCarthy scene, which of course we all know is one of the most genius viral fucking blooper situation. I can't. But then she's like kissing her and that sweetness, like it's really hard to get that with like a child actor and you're there. And you know, it can be done. But when you see that motherly love, it broke me. Man, I was broken.
She's so phenomenal. Like she probably knows this too. Like she's a verb in the way that like my kid was getting bullied recently at school, and like I said to another friend, like I want to go to the playground and go full Leslie Mann on like his bully, like, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. I want to tell him he's ugly.
I once pushed over a 3-year-old that like knocked over one of my kids, and I just got in their face. And it was just like, you do that again, you know. That is everybody's fantasy to tell.
It's a true fantasy of mine
to tell off the kid.
Oh my God,
it is, and she lived it for us.
She's so good at that.
And she writes so much of, you know, when we do those movies, you know, so many of those scenes come from Leslie. You know, the ideas for them are like us writing things like that together, and I'll always show her the script, and we'll talk about like the balance between Leslie's character and Paul's character, and what's missing, and what am I not writing about from the female point of view about parenting or problems with your husband. And so many of those ideas come from her, you know, where she's like, you know what you're not showing. You know,
I can hear it. I love it.
You know, because, you know, we always talk about, you know, it's always tricky in comedy because the guys, you know, they're always like put upon, like the mistake, and it's tricky not to fall into it. It's like the adorably put upon husband that's annoyed with his wife.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is like the cliche. And
it's always, yes, we know that.
So we're always like,
as female actresses, we know how that goes.
So Leslie always, you know, helps me with that, of like just trying to make Paul awful enough. You know, like here's what the guys do, and here's how they're gaslighting, or they're like, you know, pretending to like be fine and easy, but they're actually being a nightmare. You know, there's even a line I think in the movie where Paul says, you know, I think to Seth, he's like, you know, everybody thinks I'm so nice, but I'm an asshole. You know,
it's really hard for me to watch him say that because, as you and I both know, Paul Rudd's like the nicest person.
I know,
on the planet.
exactly.
like creepily nice, like almost like possibly a serial killer, but because he's so fucking nice. But I was gonna say, you know, Leslie and I worked together on Vacation.
Yes.
And I remember like she's there with Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I got uncomfortable because they just went on, and I thought about you. I don't know how you thought about that, but I was just like, oh,
that's part of my.
This is really
my burden
uncomfortable
as a
to watch
husband.
right now.
Yeah,
it's Chris Hemsworth, Judd. Sorry, it was like
I become like an old Greek guy. I'm just like, let her have her fun. let her make out with Chris Hemsworth. What a fun thing for a young lady to get to do.
That's the only option.
I'm sorry, because I kind of thought that as we were shooting it. I was like, I'm sure Judd's like, just go.
You know, enjoy yourself. You know, that's your Christmas gift. Chris Hemsworth. I remember we were shooting a movie with Owen Wilson, Judd Taylor. Leslie has a scene where she has to kiss him. And usually before someone kisses Leslie, if I'm like around, they'll apologize before. Like, sorry, I got to do this. You know, you wrote it or whatever it is. And Owen Wilson was the only person that day, like, didn't. And he would just kind of give me a funny look and like walk away. Or there's one moment where he was like in a van and he's like, says, hey, Leslie, you need a ride? But didn't ask me, like he was fucking with me.
Oh, that Owen, he's a sweetheart too. Oh my! I was going to ask you. Sorry, Jamie. I've been asking too many questions. You need to ask.
No, you
haven't.
My friend. Go ahead.
Because I wanted to ask you this, and I'm going back to the Gary Shandling thing because I see that you have mentored your kids, you know, not your biologicals. You have kind of taken these beautiful people in your world under your wing and have supported them, kind of like Gary did to you. And do you feel like that was like, did you learn from him in that way? Because you really have like Seth coming on and playing the camera guy on Anchorman, you know, and now parlay it into a huge fucking career. And all the people also, you know, that Linda Cardellini is like the love of my life. So like I'm going to put her into my heart.
I know. That's Leslie's favorite show of all time. And she would laugh so hard at you.
Aww.
I mean, it's like she understood everything you were doing. And we've talked about this before.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Freaks and Geeks. And I was like, Judd, you're not that old. I wasn't on it.
No, you. No, Leslie would talk about what you were doing on that show with Linda. And every single, like, because she's just so aware as an actress, all the choices that you're making, but it just tickled her. She would literally sit there screaming, laughing. She just loved every second of that show. And Linda is just
divine.
Such a genius. We'd be in daily, we would be in editing and we're like, did we ever get one that was just like a little more emotional? Yeah, we did. Did we ever get one where Linda went for the joke a little harder? Yeah, we did. Like, there wasn't one second in any daily, the entire series, where Linda wasn't incredible. Like, we just couldn't even believe it. And John Daly, too, like their chemistry, there was just something about Linda and John, just acting-wise, that I've never seen it since.
And you know, John Daly and he wrote Vacation. That was like, obviously with the thing. I love that kid. He's not a kid. We're all old, but just you've just really shaped the careers for all these people that I wish people could know that. Like you kind of did it. You did it.
Well, I said to a lot of people, I would encourage people to write, to produce, to learn how to direct. I tried to just be encouraging of expanding the things that are possible. And so I think for a lot of them at a young age, they thought, oh, maybe I can be a writer. Like, you know, Jake Kazan's brother, John, we hired him to be a writer on Freaks and Geeks. I think he was 17. So Seth was a writer on Undeclared at 18. So in addition to acting, we were like, learn how to do all of it. Because if not, the business is really hard. It's hard to just wait for people to like identify you. Become the producer, become the director, develop material, just see what else is possible. If not, you're just waiting on these people who, most of them don't know what they're doing. And then you feel bad if you don't get the jobs. And like that just always felt like I was more scared for them. Because a lot of people, they wouldn't go to college because I had given them a job on some project. And I felt a responsibility on some level to not bail on them because they moved their families to America to be on this show. And I just
mean from Burbank to like Hollywood? Because to me, it's like the longest journey that you should ever make. Just kidding.
Yeah, but that also helps people find their comedy, right? And who they are and what they bring. So I think that's just so beautiful that you encourage them that they did have a place in this business and that to not wait for it. I think as an actor, you would dream of having somebody see that potential in you. And you, like Christina said, have done that for so many people. That's something alone to be so proud of on top of all of your incredible films and TV shows that you've made. It's really cool.
Well, I love the butterfly effect of it, right? Like I was watching Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg's new show, The Studio, which is incredible.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's just so smart and it's so funny. And to see what John Daly's been doing as a writer and a director, and then everybody, and Jason Segel's show. And so there's like a moment where it is like everyone just flies off and then all these things pop up. And especially during COVID, I was just proud of everybody. Just look at what everyone's done and look at how happy they've made people feel. And, during the worst moment where we're all stuck at home and terrified, like, oh, look how many nice things, people just sitting home watching Step Brothers because, they're having a hard time, that's the thing that I'm, proudest of, is just the collaborations, but even what they all do without me. I as I get older, I feel that more. Like it is, none of them are my kids. I don't think of them that way, but it has that same feeling of like when you go see your kid in a play and you realize you're happier watching your kid in a terrible production of some Sondheim play than anything you've done in your whole career. Like the joy you feel of it. And I begin to feel that more and more just from watching what everyone is doing and being amazed at how great a lot of it is.
That's beautiful.
Support for Messy comes from Sleep Number. Love my Sleep Number bed. I was just out of town. Couldn't wait to get home because I wanted to get in my bed where I'm able to change the firmness whenever I like. I'm able to sleep on my side of the bed different than my husband because we like it different, and then we can. There are 3 smart reasons, okay, why Sleep Number is made for us and is probably made for you. Number 1, like I said, you can personalize your comfort. You can personalize your side, your firmness. I like it actually a little firmer. Cutter likes it a little softer. And you can change it whenever you like. Second, you get to stay cool. They have the Climate Series smart beds that cool up to 20 times faster than any leading competitor. Thank you very much. And it helps you stay asleep. It responds and adjusts to you and your body all night. So I don't know if you're like me. I'm like a tosser and a turner. And this bed just literally goes with me in every movement and supports me and keeps me cozy and comfortable. My back doesn't hurt in the morning when I wake up anymore. Just sleep right. With Sleep Number, they also have their True Temp bedding, by the way, designed to move heat and humidity away. You can cool at the touch of a button with the dual temp layer that can be added to any bed, any side, and all Sleep Number smart beds feature the cooling layers for soothing sleep throughout the night. So why choose a Sleep Number smart bed again? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. The only bed that lets you make each side firmer or softer whenever you like, your Sleep Number setting. And now it's a Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on the Sleep Number P5 King Smart Bed, the lowest price of the season. It's for a limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
Support for Messy comes from ZocDoc. We all like to think that we know it all. We Google it. I mean, I'm like Dr. Applegate to all my friends. Like, they show me their blood work results because they think I know everything. Guess what? I do not. The second you feel something in your body, you really need to go to a professional. You need to go to a doctor, and you can't make excuses like, I'm too busy, it'll heal on its own, I don't need help, I don't know which doctor to go to. This is why there is ZocDoc. We have all been there. Booking a doctor appointment can just feel so daunting, but thanks to ZocDoc, there's no reason to delay. They make it so easy to find and book a doctor who's right for you. It's a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors. Now, that's really important, in-network doctors. And click to instantly book an appointment. Please stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/messy to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/messy. ZocDoc.com/messy. Please, guys, regardless of everything that's going on in the world, your health is the most important thing that you have. I was going to say, like, because now, I mean, obviously the girls are older and, this is not like personal stuff now. Like you and Leslie, like you're empty nesters.
Yes, we
and
are.
What is that like? What's the next thing? Because I feel like you've mastered the world, but I know there's so much more. And I love that you've gone back to doing stand-up, that you're supporting that environment and that community so much with the the charity stuff you guys
Mhm.
do. I'm sorry, I can't remember like what it's called when you go to Largo and you guys talk. You do
Like Judd and Friends shows.
yeah, Judd and Friends and stuff like that. Sorry about that, but like, what does it look like now? Because I'm
In
at
empty nesting
an
world?
impasse. I'm at an impasse because I'm disabled now, so I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
And I do want to work, but you know, I don't fucking know what this looks like. But what does it look like for you?
Well, I think that it is a weird feeling. You spend most of your life just trying to lure them back to the house. Like, what thread counts can I put on the beds in the house to get them to prefer to sleep at our house over their apartment? I mean, I think like your triumph is when you like every once in a while, Iris will just ask me to breakfast, and I would think, I can't believe like she wants to have breakfast with me.
That's so sweet.
I mean,
Like
it's
at a
so
cafe?
simple, but just that your kids like you and want to spend
Yeah.
time with you. We've all had those issues. Like they're comfortable around us, and that we're still close. We're still a family. We still spend a lot of time together. We all talk every day, and so on one level, it's a massive change, and then on another level, thank God for technology and all of that. You stay very, very connected.
Yeah.
And then, we all still try to work together. I mean, Iris was in the movie The Bubble that we did, and Maud just directed a movie that Leslie stars in.
What?
And so,
Wow.
No, because Maud's 10.
yeah,
Judd,
exactly.
stop doing it.
So,
She's 10.
So, we try to keep it together, but it is a strange feeling of, you have to continue to find your purpose.
Mhm.
And there's certainly moments when, you start going, all right, I guess, was that it? We done? And like, okay, well, what am I writing for? What am I working for? And how do I want to spend my time? But especially if you've told a lot of stories and you've made a lot of things and they're all kind of grueling and stressful, there are certainly periods where you're fully out of gas and you have to figure out ways to recharge. And then everyone is, our relationships are evolving as we, as time passes and everyone's in different phases. That's all, a certain amount of work and growth to, figure out like, how do we all relate to each other now? When I can't tell you what to do because you are an adult. And you become an advisor is what I've decided. Like, you're just like an advisor, and they might take your thoughts and put them into action, and they might not, and you have to kind of be okay with that. And you want to be the non-annoying advisor to that.
I'm making, actually, I'm going to write that down. I want to be the non-annoying advisor because we're at a place right now at 14. I thought it was going to be 13 that was going to be like the hardest. No, it's literally like just started in the last 2 weeks. Like it's 14 now. We're like at
and it's hard because people will say like, well, there's a natural clash that happens because kids want to separate, or they're beginning to like feel what it's like to be independent, and then we're just terrified that something's going to happen to them, or they're going to get hurt, or they're going to, and we were always, I think, pretty just safety concerned as people. And that drives our kids crazy. I mean, my parents didn't know where I was, in the world of Jericho and Syosset. We just would leave.
Fake names.
We would leave at 3:00 and come back home for dinner, and they wouldn't even ask us where we were. We're just driving down Jericho Turnpike on a bicycle in heavy traffic.
Yes.
And
my mom caught me driving down 106, 107 on my bike, and I got in big trouble for that one.
Yeah, that was just life. Like they just, and when I was a kid, there's no phones. They couldn't find you. There was no way for them to locate you. And so now it's definitely different, trying not to helicopter too much. But I was thinking about what was the parenting, like what would my parenting advice be now having gone through it? And the ones I always go back to, one is that your kids are always watching you, and they basically are going to mirror how you handle life. So you can kind of tell them what to do, but they're basically just watching like how you deal with it. And
fuck.
Exactly. I mean, I remember I was on the phone once and I was getting like the report that a movie I had made no money, you know. And my daughter Maud watched me take the call, get the news, and kind of get whatever, as really upset or angry or who knows. I was maybe on the verge of tears. And she always jokes, but she kind of means it. She's like, it was one of the most traumatic moments of her childhood was to watch me go through it.
Wow.
And so that's probably like the main thing. Like, yeah, how you handle stress, how you handle conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could tell them how to do it, but they're just going to hear you on the phone. They're just going to watch how you get along. And that's like the big one. I'm trying to think the other things that I did terribly wrong. Well, I'll come up with another one.
No, I think that's beautiful advice and very true. And, you know, we don't want to take up much more of your time, Judd, but all I can say before we get into this last little segment that actually, I think Judd's answers to this might be the ones I'm most looking forward to, by the way, for Christina's party trick
so much
that she
pressure.
does. But we really look forward to everything else that you create because you do things with such heart. They're grounded in such reality, but still with pushing the envelope in every which way. And I'm just one of your biggest fans. So thank you so much for joining us. Truly, it's been such a pleasure.
Happy to be here.
Right apart for Cripple Girls.
Of course.
We'll do it for
exactly.
Cripple Girls.
2 Cripple Girls right
and
here
we'll,
for
we'll
you.
make it funny. We'll like stumble around.
I'm all for it.
Okay.
I had this project. Well, I'll tell you about it after that.
Okay.
You know, like I think we have to tell all the stories, and all the stories are human and hilarious.
Yes.
And
universal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Christina has this little party trick where she'll just ask you 5 of your favorite movies. They don't have to be the 5, but 5 that you just like love and adore, can watch a million times over, and then she'll go from there.
But don't think about it. Don't
think
edit yourself. So you just have to do them. 5.
Ready?
Yep. Ready. I'm texting myself.
Here we go.
Okay.
Terms of Endearment.
Oh boy.
Punch Drunk Love. Being There. Airplane. And Diner.
Are we the same person? I think. Oh, fuck. Okay. You guys talk for a second while I go through this.
Do you still have family on Long Island that you go see or any connections there?
I don't have any family on Long Island. I didn't go there for a long time. My parents got divorced. My mom moved to Southampton. So I avoided the Hamptons and that whole East End area for so long because it was such a traumatic memory of going there as a kid. And only in the last few years started going back to Long Island a bit and loving it. But it's so. I was trying to think of a important Sopranos connection to all our work, which is before we started Freaks and Geeks, Jake Kazan and I reached out to a couple of people to figure out how to make a TV show. Like we didn't know how to do an hour television, and I called David Chase.
Wow.
And just to get his advice, he was fantastic.
He was.
But I don't even remember the details of it, but he was very kind. I talked to him and Stephen Bochco because I just didn't know how to do it.
Poor Bochco should not have done that musical version of the show at one time. That's okay. Go ahead.
Cop Rock.
Yeah, don't
Cop
do
Rock.
that.
But what year did Sopranos start?
It started airing in 99.
In 99. So we talked to, so it was right when it kind of started.
Wow.
Like we reached out to him to ask how to do it. And then like so much of what I've done, honestly, is so inspired by what you all did with that show in terms of the balance of comedy and drama.
Yeah. And it was a funny show.
It's hysterically funny. I mean, to me, it was always mainly a comedy. And, to be grounded and real, and then to be that funny and to care about the people and have your heart break, but also it being riotously funny and just that dance of what that is, it's never been done better. And I think on even whatever, This Is 40, anything in some way, it's so heavily inspired by that work.
That's so cool.
Can I say
Yeah.
something funny about James Gandalf?
Yeah.
We did an actual comedy together,
Mm-hmm.
and he had to be goofy, and he hated every second of it.
Yeah, that sounds
because
about right.
he hated, I don't want to wear this stupid hat. I don't want to do this stupid goofy scene. And because of him being so angry about it, made him fucking hysterical. Like, you could see the look on his eyes of how much he hated every second of being there. Anyway, sorry. All right, I got your thing.
Okay,
I think.
let's hear it.
Okay. You're looked to be the hero, but you completely don't feel like you ever will be. And there's an insecurity there with you because everyone looks to you to be the one with the answers and the guidance. And you don't believe in yourself. There's a part of you that doesn't believe in yourself, regardless of your success and your intellect and your talent. And you miss your mom. That's all.
Well, that's all right on the money. That's all right on the money. The insecurity is like the fuel to keep going.
Yes.
Right.
Because if you really can't feel a completely solid sense of, I know what I'm doing, I've done it before, I have self-esteem from it, I'm filled up from it, it is the reason why you have the same level of energy next time.
Right.
Because you're never fulfilled. The next one, well, first of all, the next one won't be good because the last one was good.
Right.
But it is that thing, and I think about what you're talking about all the time. Like, why don't I feel better about it? And I've learned to just accept, like, that's just some weird feeling. And it might even be genetic. It might even be like from my mom's DNA or something, like a certain nervous energy. Like, once I went to a psychiatrist and he said I had generalized anxiety disorder, which basically means like you're in like a 3 anxiety just 24 hours a day.
It's just generalized.
Yeah.
So it's not like extreme.
Yeah, I can feel it now. It's just nerves. It's like, but it does, when I think of like how, when I've done a lot of work, that's probably why, because it never feels like, and now we rest. You did it.
But that's why I was like looking at these and Chauncey Gardner, that's like, okay, so when I do this game, I look at a through line, right? And I don't want to give my secrets away too much, but
I thought you were psychic. It's not psychic?
No, it's about psychological stuff. It's about what you're picking. So with Chauncey, he's regarded as this fucking hero and doesn't know it, right? But he's doing everything right. So I don't know. I'm just picking up on these things. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't just
You're
being
right.
there.
Nailed it.
And I do miss my mom.
I know.
I was somewhere really stoned. It's not something I do very often, but I was really stoned and just had like an image in my mind. Like, my mom was like, I don't know what she was, but she had some sort of mental health something. I don't know if she was borderline or she was bipolar or manic, but she would just like love you to death and then curse you out an hour later. It was just all over the place.
Oh my God, we're brother and sister. I love you. Okay.
and when I was stoned, I just had this like image of me hugging my late mother as if she had no anxiety and no mental health stuff, like just like soul to soul apology, dropping everything. And then I did think that I miss my mom, and it maybe kind of took me like 10 years to miss my mom.
Wow.
And I felt like, I kind of like I'm meeting her in the place where there's no worldly anxiety on this. My mom used to always say, when she'd get mad, I was telling someone this the other day, her whole thing, she would rant at you and then she would go, I am not even close to kidding.
What does that even mean? And I love it so much. I'm not even close to kidding.
That's so good.
Wait, I'm literally texting that to my child right now.
I'm not
and then
even
she can
close
ask.
to kidding.
I just lost my dad a couple weeks ago, so we've got some things. It's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not fine. It is. I'm not even close to kidding. She's going to ask me
That's
about
a good
this,
one.
and we're going to have to.
I forced her to see my therapist.
Conversation.
She never went to the therapist. She went like once with my dad before they got divorced, and apparently the therapist was really hard on her, so she would never go again. And then much later in life, when she was like 60, I got her to go to my therapist once because we were fighting so much and it was all so difficult. And then I said, "How did it go?" And she goes, "He told me I was right about everything."
What was her name, Judd?
Tammy.
Tammy, we love you, Tammy.
She was also hilarious and loved comedy and never doubted for a second that I would get to do whatever it is I do.
Amazing.
Like that belief, that like, oh, it's all, you're going to get to do everything, really came from her. And my dad would drive me to comedy clubs, when I was 17 in the middle of the night, go pick me up from Chuckles in Mineola. But yeah, she just never doubted. Like, yeah, of course you're going to do that.
That's awesome.
That stuff stays with me.
That's beautiful.
Tammy. We love you, Tammy.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Before we pick a card, which is a thing, you're going to tell him about this because I've talked so much because
What do you
I
mean? No, you
fucking
haven't.
miss you, Judd. And you and I have never really sat down and just talked. And so
This was fun.
Yeah, it was
You're
really cool for you to come on.
fucking
So I
inspiring.
just pick a card from this random deck and it gives us a little piece of inspiration or
All right.
whatever it is. So here's today's. The best way to pay for a lovely moment is to enjoy it. And you give us that in your
You
films.
gave us a lovely moment today, Judd.
Yes, you did.
That's a great one. I have in my phone, like when things like that come up, I write them in my phone. I have literally like hundreds of pages of daily, don't forget this.
Yeah, yeah.
One of them is the point of life is to celebrate life, which is like similar to that
That's
one that I
awesome.
always
I love
think
it.
about.
Well, I love you.
I love you.
I think you're fucking genius and an amazing inspiration to so many people, to myself. And we're going to talk offline about maybe a dinner with
Yes.
the Les lady, because, I freaking adore her. We had a lot of fun in Atlanta just doing our movie without you.
With Chris Hemsworth.
With Chris.
And I was stuck home alone with that band.
Yep.
Who I stay in touch with.
I love it.
And so it is.
And so it is. This show is executive produced by Christina Applegate, Jamie-Lynn Sigler, and Allison Bresnick. Our audio engineer is Josh Windisch.
And if you want to show us some love, don't forget to leave the show a rating or review. Hi, it's Jamie. Thanks for listening. I just want to let you know I am a paid spokesperson for Novartis, but this podcast is independent from my collaboration with Novartis.